Michael.
I need my headphones, so I'm bothered. Let me play even if you want people or whoever I'm.
Hello everyone and welcome to session 60 of the Little Wolf Knits YouTube channel. My name is Brianna and I am the dyer, designer, and human behind all things the Little Wolf Knits and this YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Go check out the other 59 sessions that you haven't seen yet. Where have you been? Just kidding. And if you're returning, I am so excited to see you again. It is October 1st. I cannot believe it. I didn't even need to look at my phone because it's October 1st. And it is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. As you can see a little bit behind me, we have some Halloween decorations out and about, and I am very excited. For me, fall does not start in September. Fall technically starts the 23rd or so. So then we decorate for Halloween, then we decorate for fall for the month of November, and then we get into Christmas and wintry things in December. And I leave my decorations up till January. And then this year, I decorated for Valentine's Day, February, which was very fun. And I left that up like February, March. It's been real fun around here. And I am so excited to be here with you today. I have finished so many things. It is going to be an FO parade today. So I hope you grab a cup of something, grab a project, because we are going to have lots to talk about. But first, let's get started with what I'm wearing. This is not a new FO. However, it might be the first podcast where I've actually worn this the entire time because it's fall and it's cold out, which means I need long sleeves at least, if not layers. Can you hear Michael just came inside? But this is my happy hour top, and this is my version that I made with sleeves. This one released this past month in September, and it was a really fun release because it has two options for two different tops that are perfect depending on your climate, where you live, and what time of year you're feeling like making things. I know people are not yet into fall knitting, or they weren't in the beginning of September. And now, if you are, you have this version where you can add sleeves. This is my spin dip colorway on my sunfish base, and the top's super cool. It has these set in short row sleeves. It has this really nice edging, some ribbing, and the same edging along the bottom. Super cute. And the back has a really cool, fun, can you see it? Cut out sort of detail that I have been loving so much lately. I wore my Pico de Gallo sample, which was the sleeveless version, all summer long. And I think it's finally time to put that one away and take this one out so it can be in a weekly rotation, if not more. But that is all that I'm wearing, so let's hop in and talk admin just for a second. Nothing new going on in the world of admin, but I just wanted to remind everyone, or tell you for the first time, if this is your first video, that the Rhinebeck Rumps Mal is in full swing. We're a month in at this point, and Rhinebeck is less than a month away. The Mal goes through the end of November, so I know there are still lots of fiber festivals and yarny things happening throughout the fall months, but it is your opportunity to cast on, make, finish, work on any sort of garment for the bottom half of your body. And join us on Instagram using the hashtag Rhinebeck Rumps Mal 2024. And yeah, we would love to have you. There are very few rules. We're just having fun, giving away patterns here and there will be a grand prize at the end of the Mal. If you want to get a little bit more involved, the Wolfpack membership is open for quarter 4, and it is a really great community to get a little bit more involved, like I said, for things like my mals that I host. But there's a lot happening in this fourth quarter that are super fun and exclusive to the membership that you might not want to miss out on. We have exclusive colorways both within my shop, and everyone in all the tiers of my membership have access to that. My top tier, my alpha wolves, help me create the colorways every quarter, which is super cool. And then this past quarter, we did some fun collabs with other makers as well, and those are exclusive to our membership. So if you like exclusive yarn, exclusive items, definitely don't miss out on that. And then for the month of October, we have our 31 days. Oh, what's it? Michael? He has his headphones in. I called it Michael's Movie Madness, I think, and we did it last year. It was so much fun. Michael curated a list of 31 days. It's actually more than 31 movies because he gave double feature options for the weekend days, for Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, whatever you want to do. And a bunch of our Wolfpack members watch along with a lot of the movies and chat about them. It is super fun. Some of us are scary horror movie lovers. Some of us are not so much. So he made sure to include a mix for everyone. And I'm super excited about that and cannot wait to get started watching one scary movie or Halloween-ish movie a day. So if you want to jump in and join us for any of that, there is also, I was like, why did I start talking about that? There is an exclusive channel within my Wolfpack Discord that is dedicated to the Rumps Mal, where everyone is sharing their projects, their progress, sharing photos of FOs or yarn or plans that they're thinking about making. And it's really fun to chat. And a bunch of us are actually planning to have a meetup, Rhinebeck weekend. Some of us will not be there, but I think they might host a little Zoom FOMO hangout. But for those of us who are going to be at Rhinebeck, I'm going to have a Wolfpack meetup on Saturday afternoon. So if you're going, if you're looking for a community, this is the perfect opportunity to jump into the Wolfpack, enjoy all of the fun of October, and then get to meet some of us in real life in just a few weeks. That is the only thing I'm going to talk about here. I know I talked a little bit last week about my involvement in the pigskin party hosted by Boston Jen, and I am super excited to know that this month is my month that I'm sponsoring and my challenge is kicking off, and I cannot wait. So if you're in the pigskin party, make sure that you're checking out all of the details and joining us for your challenge this month. That is all of the admin I have at this point. So I'm going to take a deep breath because we have a lot to talk about in this next section. Let's transition to what I finished. I have finished so many things in the last week. You've actually only ever seen half of them, and 2 of them you have not even seen yet. But we were on a finishing spree and it felt amazing. It still feels amazing. I still feel like I'm riding on the fumes of that finishing kick. So I will walk you through everything I finished. We'll start with the 2 that you've seen already. And I think we'll start with the one that was cast on first. And this is a Musselburgh hat. The pattern is from Ysolda Tigue. And the yarn is, it comes in Pints by Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm. And this is a beautifully blocked Musselburgh. And if you know how this works, it is just a long tube which folds into itself. You'll see how like it did some cool pooling that almost sort of striped, but I like how consistent it was throughout. And now I need to separate it and turn it up inside itself. If you have made any of these before, wow, that was surprisingly smooth. I was going to say that I feel like the first time you fold up a Musselburgh into itself, it is very difficult, but that went well. And then I think my friend Natalie of Nitty Natty said this, and I took it from her. Like to turn it inside out a few times just to make sure that it is really well situated with one end inside of the other end. And then I decide which end I like the most, since this is just one colorway. And I think it's this one because this is my decrease end. But I also like the way the yarn looks on this one. So here we go, a finished Musselburgh. And now it can go off to its intended audience. So I hope they like it. But that is FO number 1. Oh, I guess I should say I made this on a US 3. That was by accident. I usually make this on a US 4, but my 4s were being used. And I was like, I'll just put one needle tip as a 4 and one as a 3, but I accidentally put them on the wrong way. So I realized it after an inch or two and was like, that's why it was so tight to get pushed onto the needle. So I used a US 3 Chiagu needle, and I ended up just working the entire thing in magic loop. Usually, or in the past, I have done magic loop, then switched to a 16 and then back to magic loop, but I was just grooving and didn't want to stop. So there we go. Those are the details for this first FO. Now I have a second FO, and it's so fluffy. I finished my Cloudscape sweater scarf, and this is a pattern by my friend Chantel of Knitatude, and this is in my pearlescent colorway on my buoy base, and it is so beautiful. And I actually blocked this one. I wove in all my ends as I went, and then I blocked this one because I must have finished it, I think the day on Wednesday or Thursday morning. And so I just blocked it that day and left it to dry for this weekend. Some modifications that I made, I worked the initial tube in the round. So instead of having an odd number of stitches, I just do one less. Basically, I get rid of the selvage stitch and I cast on in the round, work the ribbing as directed, as instructed. And then the pattern has a really nice detail on the edge, which keeps it from rolling. Something that I do just to tidy that up even more, I slip the first stitch on every row. So creating a really nice finished edge here. And yeah, then again, when I get to the other side, instead of continuing to work flat, I just join in the round and finish off the second cuff. Now that it is blocked and fully dry, I can go ahead and snip all of my ends, and then I will be putting this away into my gift knitting pile, because this is actually a Christmas gift for my sister Nikki. So I'm going to put it away and save it for her. I was asking for her measurements before I realized. I knew her roughly what her measurements were, but this pattern is in 3 size ranges. So I didn't actually need her exact measurement. I just went off the range, but she got me her measurement later than I said I needed it by in order to finish this for Christmas. So I might try and be a little tricky and let her know I'm planning on starting it, but since she got it to me later than expected, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it in time for this year. It might not be done for Christmas, and then surprise her when I see her. But we will see. That is FO number 2, and that is the end of finished objects that you have seen already. Ooh, candle burning. The third finished object I have is something that I cast on and finished before you even heard about it, and it's a whole sweater. I worked a whole sweater in 2 days because it's a baby sweater. This is for one of my closest friends. Recently had a baby. He is so sweet and so adorable and so teeny tiny, which is funny because she is much taller than I am, and our moms were like best friends when we were born. We're about 2 months apart, or 4 months apart. And she was way larger than I was as a baby. So we were joking that she was gonna have a giant baby, and now she has this teeny tiny peanut, and he's so cute. I cannot wait to see him. So I went ahead and made him a sweater. I used leftover yarn. So this is an acrylic Lion brand. It might be jeans in a gray color. And then I actually used the rest of this yarn, held double, and look how different it looks. I think I was getting to the end of the skein. I don't know if it was as saturated as the rest of it, but it just looks super different when it is marled. And let me say what pattern this is. This is called the Good Old Raglan by Twisted Knitwear. It was a free pattern and I really enjoyed it. Basic raglan for a baby. There were some striping instructions. However, I realized I was going to likely run out of gray yarn and have a lot left over of this variegated yarn if I followed the instructions as they were written. It was just a few tiny stripes like that. So what I decided to do was rethink the striping sequence and turn it into a fade so that each variegated section got a little longer and each gray section got a little shorter, and I matched it on the sleeves. And I think it is so perfect. I even had a little bit of gray left over, maybe like 5 grams, and less than a gram or 2 of the variegated. So I ended up, it was really knotted. A dog, we were with friends this weekend, and a dog got into my cake of yarn that I was pulling from both ends, and he was playing with it because I forgot that dogs like yarn. So I got the knots down to the very end, and then I just tossed the last gram or so of yarn. But yeah, this is super cute, and I really like this pattern. I'm hoping that it fits. This is supposed to be the 6 to 9 months. I have not blocked it, although the acrylic won't grow too much. This might just grow a little bit, and everything will tidy up. And then we'll see how fit goes. I'm glad I went up to the 6 to 9 month because I almost did the 3 month because he was born the very end of August, beginning of September 1st, I think he was born. So I said 3 months, could be December this winter. Let me go a little larger, and I'm glad I did because I don't know if I was on cage. But we will see. I will get this in a little bath to block, and then hopefully I will get to bring it to him soon when I meet him. And hopefully it fits. But he will be covered in lots of knitted sweaters this winter, if he likes them, because it was so exciting to make him. That is all that I finished knit-wise, but I have finished one spinning project, and you technically haven't seen it. It was a Let's Clear My Bobbins project, and I basically had 2 bobbins with some scrap single ply on it from my 3-ply that I finished last week that I showed. So now that I fixed my Hansen, it is all good to go. I ended up plying those off, and this is actually a good amount of yarn. I thought it would be 20 grams. This looks like 30, 40. Could it be 50? I don't know. But it is a good amount. So this will be nice for color work in a sweater or even a hat, or maybe some sort of traveler cowl or situation for someone in my life. We'll see how much yarn there is. It is not washed yet, so it definitely needs to bloom. But this should be a pretty nice fingering weight when it's done. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. That is my 4th and final finished object. So let's talk about what else I've been working on. There are only 2 other things that I've been working on that you haven't already seen finished, and only one of them is knitting. And I'll be honest, A little part of me thought I was going to finish it before I recorded today, but I didn't, so don't worry. This is, well, technically it's not in any bag right now because I've been working on it, so it's out of the bag, but it is in my Songbird handmade bag. I have it folded down. I'm using it like a little yarn bowl, and inside you will find this skein. Oh, it's so good. This is Midnight on my 420 base. It's this awesome steely denim-y blue. And yeah, I really, really like it. And I'm super excited to be working with it. I feel like this is one that was a precious colorway that was like, what am I going to make with this? I don't want to make the wrong thing. And I'm really glad I'm using it for the project I'm using it for. So what am I doing with this? Well, I am making a top, and it is a top that you technically haven't seen yet, but you kind of have, because it is a top that is going to be the Bayside top. So you saw my Bayside dress. I showed it on here. I actually wore it to the shower I went to this past weekend, which was very, very courageous because I have not taken FO photos of it, haven't done anything with it, and someone spilled something on me. Luckily, it was a clear drink. It was light. We dabbed it. Wool is water resistant for the most part, so that was good. I did a little spot cleaning, and I think we're fine. But I am making a Bayside top, and you'll see I have some progress keepers on it because I am almost done with it. I have about, let's see, 1, 2. I have 2 more inches of decreases and then some straight body knitting just to get it to the length that I want it to. And my plan is to see how far this yarn gets me and potentially use the entire skein. It's going to be a longer crop because it is going to be part of a set. So this is the Bayside shirt, and there will be a Bayside skirt. It is 1x1 rib all over. It has beautiful slip stitch detailing, some really fun shaping. Let's see, can I get this progress keeper out of the way so you can see the shaping? Not really. You can't see it. You'll see it when it's done. Basically, it's going to have some like tulip shaping. So it's like bust shaping. And then on the skirt, it will have it on the butt, just like the dress did. And I'm very, very excited for this. There'll be some elastic in the waistband of the skirt, but this one is pretty much easy peasy. A few more inches of decreasing and then just working in the round 1x1 ribbing until I'm done. So we'll see. I am going to a movie tonight. It's not until 8 o'clock. It's only 5:30 right now. So I could potentially do 2 inches of this, finish up the decreases, and then have the rest of this to work on during the movie. It's going to be a toss-up. I'm going to start working on it once I'm done recording. See where I am in an hour. If I'm halfway through and I only have 1 more set of decreases to go, I'm good to go. If I'm not, I'm going to put it down and cast on something else so I have something else to take with me for the movie because I don't have any other knitting on my needles right now. But I'm super excited about this. I anticipate having this done by tomorrow and then casting on the skirt, which will be so amazing. And the hope is that this set releases potentially end of November. It's going to be in pieces. So the shirt potentially by the end of November, the skirt potentially beginning of December, and then the full dress the very beginning of January, maybe even New Year's Eve for my Wolfpack members and newsletter subscribers. We'll see. But I'm really, really excited about this, and I cannot wait to be done with it. Not to be done with it because I'm not enjoying it, to be done with it so I can wear it. That's why. But I only have one other thing that I'm working on, and it is not a knitting whip at all. It is a spinning whip, and I have busted out I've busted out my carry.cherry bobbin spindle again this week. And this is the last little bit of the 2-ounce bump that I was working on. I did a little bit of spinning on it today. I would like to do a little bit more. And then I just have a little bit more to finish. So, super excited. And I'm ready to get this done again because I want the skein of yarn. And I'm a little bit over the spin on my drop spindle. I also am starting a bunch of projects. So that is also really pulling my energy in different directions. It is October, so I am starting to spin on my Beetlejuice fiber countdown box that I kept for myself, and I'm really excited. I'm going to do a little fractal spin. So I will spin half of each day onto one bobbin, and then I will split the other half in half again. So I have quarters, and then we'll spin each quarter 1 to 30, 1 to 30. So it's a really long fractal, and I'm super, super excited about it. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I'm going to have that spin on the wheel soon. And in the month of October, I am also opening a fiber countdown from my friend Kat over at Cesium Yarn. And I'm so excited to see what they have dyed up, but I don't know that I'm going to be spinning that also during the month of October. It feels like a big endeavor that I might burn myself out on. So what I'm thinking about doing is opening it day by day throughout October, and then potentially saving that to spin in November. So I have a big project to focus on each month, or at least whenever I finish my Beetlejuice spin, then I will start my Cesium yarn spin. And I didn't even say, but that is Scooby-Doo themed. So I'm thinking one of these will be used for maybe a garment for Michael. We will see the colors and see what he prefers. But I will get those spins done before December because I have some fiber advents coming this December. So lots of spinning to be done, which means I'm just ready for my drop spindle to be cleared, at least from that project. So fingers crossed, everyone yell at me, get me motivated, and let's get that one done. That is all that I've been working on. I talked a little bit about planning ahead, so let's just talk for a second about what's in the shop. There are a few things in the shop and only a few that have changed from last time, so I'm going to run through this one quickly. Our single day Beetlejuice inspired skeins with or without our countdown gifts are still available in the shop. I gave a spoiler of it 2 sessions ago, so if you want to see it, go head on over to session 58, and you can still fill those likely through the end-ish of this month, or until the gifts sell out, and those are limited. So if you definitely want some of the gifts, make sure you grab yours now. It is also last call for our super shitty December boxes, our half, full, or single day options. Those are going to come down by the end of this weekend because I'm going to start dyeing them next week. That is wild. So definitely make sure to grab yours now if you want one. Last call, last chance for those boxes. We also have our February inspired boxes that are officially up in the shop. We are going with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days this February, and there are 14-day, 28-day, or single-day options in either fingering DK yarn or a mixed fiber. Y'all have already jumped on those. I'm super excited. Looking at the palette, there's lots of yellows and soft colors, and I'm really getting excited about dyeing that up. It won't be for a few months, but I'm excited about that. And then using that in February, making yarn and then knitting with it as we head into spring. I just think it's going to be the perfect palette. So if you want one of those, definitely make sure to go grab one. We still have our tailgate party collection yarns in the shop and our spooky Halloween themed yarns in the shop as well. Our holiday yarns are not yet available in the shop. However, they will be coming soon. I know people I've received 1 or 2 emails asking about them and if those will be available this year. I typically put them out end of October, beginning of November, so people have time to order them and receive them by the beginning of December. But do we think they should go out earlier? Let me know if you want to see them before the end of this month. And I'll see if we can make it work. But those are coming very soon. We do have 2 new clubs this month, and I actually don't have them with me dyed yet. There was a little bit of a scheduling error, and I realized I needed to fit them into my last week's dye schedule, but I didn't have enough yarn in stock. And I could have dyed it on different bases, but I usually dye my clubs on Sunfish because that is my most popular. So I waited, and I don't have it available right now, but we're heading into the last quarter of the year, which means 2 new themes, and I am so excited about both of these. We're heading into Friends, and the first colorway, this is actually feels like meant to be. The first colorway is going to be a little bit of a tribute to Chandler Bing and Matthew Perry, which just feels like, it was meant to be. And it's going to be super, super awesome. Colorways, if you're someone who doesn't mind shopping with a little bit of a surprise, the listings are available now with the palette inspiration, so you won't quite see the yarn yet, but you can see the inspiration color theme that the yarn will be based off of. And then our second club for October, we are starting a How I Met Your Mother theme, and it is very fun. It is very moody, very autumnal. I think it's going to be a really nice contrast. One of the clubs is a little bit more blues with a pop of color, and this one is a little bit more green, brown, fall, autumnal, earthy. And I think it's going to be very, very good. I'm super excited about it. So make sure to head to the shop and check those out if you want either of those and you don't mind buying yarn without seeing it first. Otherwise, stay tuned and you will see those colorways dyed up next week. That is all that's in the shop as far as yarn. Stay tuned because next week there will also be some fun announcements, potentially a sale for the fall, potentially for patterns and yarn. So make sure to come back and find out all the details next time. But for now, let's just wrap up with a little bit of life stuff. Not too much is happening around here. Well, that's not true. A lot is happening, but a lot of the same stuff. So we're in the swing of things. We're in the routine. What happened this past week? Michael and I went to see My Old Ass. Did I talk about this? When did I record last time? I might have recorded on Wednesday. It was so good. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Bring your tissues. It's funny. It's devastating. It's wise. It's endearing. It was so good. Michael and I loved it so much. So even if I talked about it last time, I'm going to talk about it again. And then tonight is the first day of October, Michael's movie madness. So we are actually going to the movies, as we do every Tuesday, and we are going to see Never Let Go, which seems like it's going to be a good, spooky, suspenseful thriller, and I cannot wait, so I'll keep you posted on how it was next week. I finished reading House Across the Lake by Riley Sager last week, and we had our book club, and I loved the first 69% of it, and then it took a turn for me, and there was a twist that just was not my cup of tea, and I finished it, but I honestly asked some of my Wolfpack members who got really into Riley Sager whether that sort of twist was common for his writing style, because if it is, it's probably something I'm not going to pick up very much. But they said it wasn't, so I might give him another try. People are reading a few more of his books, so we'll see, but I'm not right now planning to do that. I have started The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I know there's I have learned that there's some controversy around these books in particular, but also I think all of her books. I don't know. At this point, I really like it. I'm about 60% in, and it's giving Verity vibes. If you read Verity, it's that sort of like suspenseful thriller. Didn't see that coming. Different viewpoints and perspectives. Read the trigger warnings if you want. But I'm really excited to read that. And I plan on reading the next 2 by the end of this month before our Wolfpack book club that's happening later this month. Otherwise, this weekend we headed down the shore. I had a bridal shower for my friend on Saturday. It was super chill, super fun. I wore my Bayside dress. Everyone loved it. And I'm really excited because I'm actually going on a bachelorette party with the same people next month. So it's cool that now I've met them and feel like I know who I'm traveling with. So that was definitely a bonus. Otherwise, it was just rainy and gloomy all weekend. So Michael and I spent a lot of time inside. I got a lot of knitting done, as you can see by my finished objects. A lot of TV watching. I just finished season 5 of The Jersey Shore. And I realized before starting season 6 that the first season of JWoww and Snooki's show came out. So I think I'm actually going to watch that one first. So I'm kind of watching things chronologically. But that's what's going on. I caught up with YouTube. It was a really relaxing weekend. We don't get those too often. So I'm glad that we had one. And I'm hoping that this next weekend will be just as relaxing and just as fun. I think we actually might have company coming into town to see us. So we will see. I'll keep you posted. And I hope that you all get as much knitting or making or relaxing time as you want to have this week. And I will talk to you next time. Until then, take care of each other. Bye.